There's so many ways to do the work Jim Vincent and Linda Finn are talking about. I'd like to now invite members of the One Gun Gone Project forward to share their work and their response.
Hello. We are honored to be here. We are the One Gun Gone Project. I also just want to say I want to thank everybody who's in the One Gun Gone Project for being up here tonight. People are studying for finals. People have an art show that they ducked out of to come here, and they're going back to immediately after this. And if you're an artist, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
We want to quickly say what we do. Without students, I had legally purchased a handgun. I made a mold of the handgun, and then with my students over the last 3 years, we've worked to make as much art as we could that talks about gun violence. From that mold, in the spirit of that mold. We've sold that work, and we're funding a gun buyback, which will be happening late spring, early summer, here in the city of Providence. This is one of our works. So this is a candle wax gun sculpture. We originally started making these sculptures as functional candles, and we wanted to make an object that talked about why people were being mourned in sidewalk shrines across the city. We decided to change the way that we made this kind of sculpture recently. We had a show at CCRI, and it was right after a young man named William Parsons was killed in front of a high school, in front of dozens and dozens of people. Many people that we knew him well. And we didn't want to make an object that looked like a firearm. And when we were putting up that show, we decided we needed to transform an object of darkness into an object of light. I call this an object of darkness, not because of what it can do, but because of what it has done to people in my life. When I was a young person, there was gun violence in my own family, and it forever changed many lives. We moved on from that, the best that people can. And then, as I was teaching, a student of mine was murdered, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. When I think about the people in my life that have passed, and I'm old enough to have had many people pass, sometimes people pass from what I'll call natural causes. We can think about that. We can justify that in our own minds as the cycle of life or something along those lines. When somebody dies from a gun shot, it's not the same, and it shouldn't be the same. And I'm a really normal person, and I shouldn't be up here saying that with all the illnesses and that are out there, that gun violence has taken more people out of my life than anything else. That is just wrong. This project was started to be a positive action towards everything I just spoke about. One thing that's very important to me is that my students who grow up in communities affected by gun violence don't simply think that it's around them. They may not like it. Some of my students in the past have been involved in gun violence, felt like they needed to carry guns for their own defense. I'm not judgmental, but I don't want people to be numb to it. I don't want people to think that it's just around them and they have to deal with it. In that spirit, this project was made so that students could have a voice, could think about how they actually felt about gun violence. Not just that it's somewhere else, not that it is tolerated, not that I'm not going to be involved in it, but that we can say we don't like it. In that spirit, everybody up here is going to say a piece in their own voice about an aspect of gun violence that they want to communicate.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Raul Velasquez, and I just wanted to share a little story with you guys. And I wanted to be involved in the gun project at first because I thought this is a project that is trying to make the community better, and not many people were doing that. I have been thinking a lot of how hard it is to take one gun off the street and how easy it is to get a gun. Like getting candy from a candy store. It makes me feel good to be part of this project, and it is exciting to see the movement that we are making. In El Salvador, where I am from, gun violence is so common that you stop feeling it anymore. I feel here in the US the violence is more controlled. If we are successful in getting guns off the street, here it will feel good. Even though it will really be like grains of sand to the number of guns out there, they will however be our grains of sand. Thank you.
Hello everybody, thanks for coming out tonight. My name is Ricky Pastor. Working as a mentor, photo instructor in Providence for 3 years, started to realize that I got more attached, closer to my students that I work with. As time goes on, I try to believe that my mentor, Scott Lapham, and I are trying to make a difference in this community, specifically to young people of color. We are teaching them, we mentor them. I want a better future for my students. I don't want my students to witness gun violence. I don't want them to be a victim of gun violence. It's not fair, it's not fair or right students have to be afraid of being shot on their way to school or on their way home from school. This is not normal. We must not give up on our youth. We must build a better generation for our youth, a better community for them. As a community, we must come together to help one another. When I found out about 15-year-old Williams Parsons being killed, I was outraged. I was angry. I was shocked. All I could think about were my students that were on their first week of high school. This endless sense of violence must stop. It was unjustified. It was uncalled for. That day should have never happened. What makes the act of gun violence even more tragic is that the young teen who died that day in the hands of a coward with a firearm was known by my students. They knew William Parsons. He was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I wish that day never happened. It was a difficult moment for the community of Providence. I tried to explain to my 13-year-old brother, who started the 8th grade on the same week as that tragic day happened. I tried to explain to him that gun violence is never the answer. Owning a gun doesn't make you a man. It doesn't make you tough. It's a false sense of power. I always tell him to be a man. Go don't ever condone yourself to violence. I wanted him to know that I care about my community. I care about my students. I care about my family, my friends, and my community leaders. I told him that being part of the One Gun Gone project can help me express myself about how I feel about gun violence. It helps me talk about how, in reality, that this is a crazy topic to talk about, but it's something that we need to address to our students, to our community leaders. We must not give up on our youth. We have to save our youth. We have to stop the violence. I always tell people, put down the guns, and let's save our youth.
Hello. My name is Brandon Morales. I'm part of the One Gun Gone project, and I was born and raised in Providence. I try to be a good representation of my city because I love it so dearly. But from a very early age, I lived in Wills Avenue, and gunshots were a normal thing to me. I'm young, and it doesn't really faze me anymore to the sound. I'm not anything different from any of the other kids that I've known and that live in Providence. But guns and gun sounds are no longer surprising, but it's the norm. I never really had an event with gun violence until the day my friend William got shot. I was really personal with him. We went to the same middle school, watching Williams, and the day that it happened, it was very confusing. I found out on the bus that a kid got shot in front of Central, which is a high school, and we didn't know who it was until we got on the bus, because I always go to Central after school. And I found out that it was William. There was so much rumors going around saying that he was still alive, and that he had a chance, and I believed it. I went off thinking he was fine, until later on I got picked up with my parents, and they told me that he didn't make it. That was my first big, event or moment with gun violence, and it was in the worst way possible. I was part of One Gun Gone before passing with him, but being part of this has given me a reason to remember him by and give me a purpose. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Rosa. I'm from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. I'm someone that has been exposed to gun violence once or twice in my life. I don't know as much as maybe a few other people have. But I'm someone that definitely represents peace, love, and positivity, and pushing towards a world that is weapon-free and where everyone can strive and prosper together. And being part of One Gun Gone has been a very important part of my life, and it's helped me understand more the importance of keeping everyone safe in our communities. And I'm very appreciative of Scott and the opportunity that he's given me to be a part of this. So, thank you.
Good evening, my name is Ashley Rodriguez. I decided to write a poem based on my life experience. It's called Fear is My Friend. I didn't know their name. I didn't know what life they lived. I don't know anything. Gunshots I heard, gunshots that were loud, gunshots that made my heart drop. Looking through my eyes, it was horrible. Looking that there was blood stains on the floor. Looking that there was a dead body. How do I begin? Where did I left of having fear overcome me? Why couldn't I be able to play outside? Fear made me feel sick. Fear is everywhere. Fear is my friend. God bless you all. Thank you.
This candle mold will cool, and from it will come a candle. And this is our transformation of an object of darkness to an object of light.